Hey, it's your boy Derek coming to you live for Mindset Friday. Hey, so just a couple thoughts while I'm on the road here thinking about different things. And personally, I've done some stuff recently that's caused a lot of pressure on my business life. And stuff that's happened kind of gets you down. And it's it can really almost shut you down and get you so you're paralyzed because you just kind of like, just let it affect you. It's easy to say, leave it at the door. It's another thing to actually do it when you get into the office and do that. But, you know, one of the things I just thought about is that, when you're under pressure, it causes you to grow because you're uncomfortable. Now, I know it's not typically what you think. You think when all the stress is coming on you, it's hard. But, think of the example of, an olive. You can't get the essential oils out of an olive unless you press it. You can cut it up, chop it, all that stuff. It won't come out unless it's pressed. The best part of that olive won't come out unless the olive is actually pressed. So like sometimes under pressure, you grow as a person. Think of think of the garden hose. If you're ever washing a car like I am, you're in New England, and God, I look like red in this video today. If you're washing your car and just garden hose, and the water just dribbles out of there, blah, 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 it's dribbling out, and you're trying to wash the car, you're trying to reach a spot you can't get. What do? You put your thumb over the garden hose, right? You create pressure on that garden hose. And ideally, you would think if you restrict the water from the garden hose that you'd get less water. But what happens? Stuff comes squirting out of it. It goes further than the normal water because it's under pressure. So the same thing for you. Sometimes, pressure is created to make you grow, to become the person you're gonna be. So I know if you're going through something right now, you have this pressure, you feel like everything's coming against you. Remember, there's a reward at the end of this. If you have to get through this, then it's how you handle it. But think of how nature works. Like, you put pressure on that. It doesn't have to be a garden hose. If you put pressure on a stream that's, it's going down a little narrow thing, you put something in there, it's going to squirt faster. If you throw a big boulder in the middle, the water's going to come out a bit more. That's the nature. That's the world, how it actually works. So, I don't know. I was just thinking about the pressure I had on me and kind of getting the woe me's a little bit. And then I remembered that stuff that, sometimes pressure is created to make us grow. And if you want to say God has us on the potter's wheel, he's shaping us. Sometimes you ask for help and it may seem to get worse, but sometimes that pressure that's put on you is there to sort of, that opposition is there to force you to be the person that you're going to become. Someone great, someone greater than who you are now. But without that pressure, you wouldn't be that person. So, it's hard to take it in stride, but sometimes when you look back, some of the worst things that happened to you have been the greatest things, right? Like, they've made you different. Some of the worst things that have happened to you, some of the nicest stuff has come out of it. Only you know that by looking back at that piece. Like, you don't see it when you're there. It's kind of like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. I put together jigsaw puzzles, and you have this one piece, and you're like, there's no way this is gonna fit. And you're trying to put it in, and you're like, the manufacturer must have messed up. My dog ate this thing, must have chewed it up. This is never gonna fit. And it doesn't actually fit until you get more of the pieces to go around it. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a minute, this actually lines up perfectly. So you really can't tell what's going to happen until you see all the pieces. And typically you don't see that going in the future. You only see it looking back. So remember a lot of those things too. When stuff happened to you in the past that wasn't the greatest thing, but it turned out to be pretty good, that might be happening again right now. It's just tough to deal with it while you're in the moment. Anyways, I hope this helped you today for Mindset Friday. Any questions, comments, leave them here below. I'll answer anything I can. And as always, man, keep your chin up, brother or sister.